Hey guys, it's Libby, and recently I got a request to make a video about my experience with psychiatric medication. I thought that it was a really good idea because when I was looking to try out psych meds, I kind of wanted to know what other people's experiences were, so I think that maybe I can be that for somebody else. I'll just preface this video by saying that I am not a psychiatrist or a medical doctor of any kind. I just have tried many a psych meds before, and I thought I would share my experience with them. So let's get started. So for a little bit of background, I will tell you kind of my mental illness experiences so that you know kind of what I'm getting medicated for. So around age 13, I'm 23 now, so 10 years ago, wow, that's a long time. About 10 years ago, I started feeling depressed. So depression kicked in around age 13 for me. Around age 15 or so, I developed an eating disorder. I mention that not because there's a medication to treat eating disorders, but just because that worsened my depression and, you know, overall life situation, feelings, etc. Around age 18 or so, I started dealing with insomnia. My insomnia was not being able to sleep through the night. I could always fall back asleep, but I would wake up a bajillion times throughout the night, and I obviously never felt rested. All that said, I didn't even start taking psychiatric medication until age 18. So my symptoms started around age 13, and I waited like 5 years before I began taking them. I didn't want to have to rely on them to feel happy. Like, I wanted to be able to find it within myself, like fix myself, you know? And generally speaking, for my whole life, I tried to just avoid medication. So like if I had a bad headache, I wouldn't take ibuprofen. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't want to put things in my body. I don't know. Like, I know it's all like scientifically backed and stuff, so it's kind of like a weird conviction to hold, but yeah. But then I went to college, and then around 18 or 19, again, 5 or 6 years into my mental illness journey, I decided, you know what, enough's enough. I'm gonna try psychiatric medication. And my sister had used psych meds, my mom had used psych meds, I think other like extended family members maybe. So like, I knew people who took them, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it too. Upon starting an antidepressant, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Prozac, I could be wrong, I don't know. But upon starting it, my boyfriend at the time got so mad. He was like enraged. He did not want me on them. He did not want to see me take them. He didn't want to know anything about it. He was so mad. And the reason I tell you that is because I took them anyways. I said, no, you are not in control of my mental health. I am. I am in control of my recovery journey, not you. I didn't say all that, but that's what I was thinking, and I took the pills anyways. He was a pretty shitty guy in general, so this isn't like uncharacteristic of him, but the reason I tell you that little side story is just because I want you to know that you are the decision maker for your mental health, unless you're like in harm's way because of what you're doing or something, you know what I mean? So don't let other people tell you not to try it if you want to try it, okay? Don't let them. You do what you want to do. But anyways, so I went on an antidepressant, wasn't working. Maybe I upped the dose, maybe I switched to a different one, upped that dose, I don't know. But I went through like a few different antidepressants, and none of them were working for me. It was so frustrating. And I know that the process of finding a psych med is so frustrating because you take the pill as prescribed, and then you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to know if it's working. And how do you even know if it's working? Like, it's a little confusing. You're like, well, am I still depressed? I don't know, you know? So it's really frustrating. And then say it's not working and you can't tell if it's working or whatever, and you up the dose. Well, that's another 6 to 8 weeks. Or maybe you switch meds, another 6 to 8 weeks, you know? So I know that the process of psych med trying is very frustrating. You're not alone in feeling that, but it can definitely be worth it if you find one that works for you. Follow the advice of your doctor as to how long you should try something, if you should up the dose, if you should change medications, whatever. Follow the advice of your doctor. However, if you're not confident in your doctor, don't be afraid to go get a second opinion, you know? As for side effects of antidepressants, that's always a possibility. I did experience some bad side effects. One of them gave me dry mouth, and you don't know how inconvenient dry mouth is until you actually have it. It's awful. So dry mouth. Another one gave me very extreme nausea. Like, when I took the pill, if I ate like 30 minutes or later after I took it, I would throw it up. I felt so sick. The nausea was so bad, and I couldn't eat for the rest of the day. It was crazy. But yeah, so there's side effects, yes, but the goal is to find one that doesn't give you those bad side effects, or side effects that are worth managing, you know? And honestly, even trying all those antidepressants, I didn't start feeling better until I started a mood stabilizer. My psychiatrist has told me it's a mood stabilizer / antipsychotic, so I guess it fits into both of those categories. I don't exactly know. Again, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I started taking Zyprexa, if you're curious, olanzapine. I think I started that like a year after trying all these different antidepressants. I was probably around like age 20. I'm on a pretty low dose of it, but it has made a world of a difference for me. Before starting the mood stabilizer, I would get into these super low ruts, and they wouldn't last super long. Like, it wasn't like a depressive episode that was followed by like a manic episode. It wasn't bipolar disorder or anything like that. But it was like these lows that would just hit me and stick with me for a little while and then leave, and then it would hit me again, and like my mood did just like and it never really went up, but it went to like baseline shit, you know. That's kind of what my experience was, and the Zyprexa really evened that out for me. I haven't really felt depressed over small things or like things that don't make a lot of sense to be so depressed over, you know. Like, I haven't had that like irrational depression, or however you want to call it. I haven't had that since taking the mood stabilizer, which is insane to me, because like I used to get down about the littlest of things, you know, and it's been such a blessing to feel this way. I take the Zyprexa at night because it does help me sleep too. Like, I sleep through the night now every night. Like, I wake up a little early because I gotta pee, but like other than that, I sleep through the night, and it's beautiful. It is blissful. I love my sleep, okay? I love my sleep, and this medication has helped me sleep. Before I started taking the Zyprexa, I was on just like a sleeping pill, which was trazodone, and I think it did work for me for a while, but then I think I was like off it, and then I went back on it, and it didn't work for me anymore. I don't know, but the Zyprexa, it works so good. I sleep through the night, and my mood is, you know, it's wonderful. That said, I was still struggling so much with fatigue. To give you an example, I started working at 7 a.m. so I'd get up at say 6 a.m. By 3 p.m. I would be off work, back home, and then by 6 p.m. I would fall asleep. Like, I tried to fight it, I tried to stay awake, but every single day I would fall asleep after being awake for just 12 hours. Like, my body couldn't stay awake longer, and it was so frustrating. And I knew that a stimulant would counteract that. I didn't want to go to illegal drugs. I didn't want to go start snorting cocaine every freaking day. But I knew that a stimulant would be what would be helpful. So I pestered and pestered and pestered my psychiatrist until she agreed to prescribe me Adderall. And I mean, I did struggle with focus too, but was that due to depression? Was it due to the fatigue? I don't know, but I am diagnosed with ADD now. I'm not sure if I would have that diagnosis if I wasn't taking Adderall, or if that's just kind of the justification for taking Adderall. I don't know, and I don't care, because now that I'm taking Adderall, I take it twice a day. My dose has increased a little over the last couple years, but now that I'm taking it, I'm able to stay awake, guys. Like, it has been a miracle. Like, I can stay awake all day, like, as I'm supposed to. There was one week when I recently began taking it where I forgot to put it in my pill case, so I was only taking like the afternoon dose and not the morning dose of it, and I was feeling so tired, and I was like, man, I don't think this Adderall is working. I'm so sad. Like, I thought that was the fix for this. I'm so tired again. What's wrong with me? And I realized, oh, I just forgot to take it every single morning this week, and so there was less of it in my system, blah, 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 you know. So it works for me, and it's beautiful. Again, psychiatric medication, beautiful to me. Beautiful. It has, like, amazing. However, in the last few months, kind of like since the beginning of this academic year, I have been feeling more anxiety, and I think part of that was due to this like job I had. It was really stressing me out, and I felt super anxious all the time, and maybe it was partially due to school because it went back in person, and my internship, it was new, you know, I don't know, but I was feeling a lot of anxiety, and so my psychiatrist did prescribe me an as needed anxiety medication, and it was Klonopin, if you're curious. I think it helps. I haven't taken it that many times, so I'm not exactly sure, but I have that too. So, additionally, I switched antidepressants from desvenlafaxine, which I think is Pristiq, to venlafaxine, which is Effexor. And venlafaxine is actually the drug that used to make me so nauseous that I couldn't eat. However, now I don't have that side effect. I am up like 30 or 40 pounds from where I used to be. So maybe my body can handle it now that I've got more mass to me. I don't know. But though I have passed the 6 to 8 week mark of taking Prestique, it's kind of too early for me personally to tell if it's working for me, if the dose is good. I'm not exactly sure. It's so hard to tell with psychiatric medications. It's so hard for me personally to judge my depressive symptoms, my anxiety symptoms. It's so hard because, I mean, I could like chart it, you know, there's ways to like track your mood and see how you're feeling, but it's just hard for me to even like calculate, you know? So I don't know if it's working yet or not. I don't feel like total crap, so that's great. I am on a lot of medications, and while that wasn't my dream for myself, it's what I need. It's what I need in order to like thrive, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's psychiatric medications out there for a reason. They exist for a reason. Y'all haven't seen Lula in a minute. She just popped in the room, so I thought I'd bring her over to say hi. My little baby. Psychiatric medication is not for everybody. That said, if you think that it might help you, be open and honest with your doctor, and you guys can kind of work together and figure out if you think it could be helpful for you, and start on that journey. And I do say it's a journey because I feel like the chances are slim that the first thing you take is gonna help, or at least like the first dosage, you know, like maybe the first pill will, but you need a higher dose, whatever. So it's a little bit of a journey. It takes a little bit of time, but if I like look back at how I felt before I was on psych meds to how I am now that I take all these meds, I would not redo it. I would not undo it. You know, I am so thankful that I allowed myself to give this a shot, because I was closed off to it at first, but I mean, now that I'm on it, it's incredible what it has done for me. And I'm not saying that psych meds are a cure-all, a magic solution. No, I still definitely recommend combining that with therapy. A lot of people taking psychiatric medication also still need therapy. Again, there's nothing wrong with that either. But just keep that in mind. The pill is not a cure-all. You're not going to feel 100% better right away, whatever, you know. You might need therapy too, and there's nothing wrong with that, again, like I said. So yeah, try the meds, try the therapy if you want. It's up to you. It's your life, your mind, your body, your decision. Yeah. So I hope that this video was informative for you. If you have any questions about my personal experiences, feel free to ask. If you're gonna ask any questions though about like specific medications and how I did with them, honestly, it doesn't matter. Everybody's chemistry is different. Everybody's mind is different, body is different, whatever. So me telling you about my experience with a specific drug won't really help you a whole lot. But if you have questions in general, feel free to ask. If you're interested in trying out therapy, I highly recommend trying out BetterHelp if you're interested in online therapy. I will leave my link down in the description. It gives you a discount off of your first month of therapy, which is awesome. So yeah, I hope that this video again was informative. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those. But if you have any suggestions for new videos, feel free to leave that down below as well. I would love to read it, see it, consider it. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that I already said that 3 times. I'm just gonna end now. Okay, bye.